Giannis Antetokounmpo was asked about load management, and here's what the Greek Freak had to say. He said, quote, "I can't speak to what other teams or what other players do. I want to play." Jalen, can I do too much and say that that's a shot at Kawhi Leonard?
It wasn't necessarily a shot at Kawhi Leonard. It was a shot at all players who feel like the 82-game regular season aren't important anymore. Jacoby, that used to be something that was a badge of honor because that's what the best players in the league were doing. If Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and these guys, Akeem Olajuwon, are the best players in the game, Karl Malone, John Stockton, and they're showing up every night, guess what you have to do? Fall in line.
Yeah.
Now that has changed, and the importance isn't there for the player. So now the team says, well, we want to create longevity with this player and maximize his opportunities to be out there. It allows guys to play longer, which I'm not mad at, but it really hurts the fan perspective of purchasing tickets and the television perspective of advertising games, because you can look up and the best players will be out due to rest and or load management.
Jalen, you know I'm a die-easy Knicks fan, and one thing the Knicks did was trade Kristaps Porzingis, which I think will go down as one of the best moments in Knicks history. Well, the Knicks head into Dallas to play against Kristaps Porzingis, and he talked about the matchup before the game. Let's check in with KP.
I have nothing negative to say. You know, it's in the past. It's in the past, and I'm grateful for those years that I spent in New York. You know, it's a great experience. It's a great experience. That's it.
Jalen, you were traded 75, 80 times in the NBA. Do you play harder against your former teams?
Absolutely, no doubt about it. You play harder against a coach you felt like gave up on you or gave you DMPs. You play harder against a team, especially if you wanted to still be there and it didn't work out, especially if they traded you somewhere you don't want to be. In Kristaps Porzingis' case, he upgraded.
Yep.
So he has no reason to be upset. They traded him to play with Luka Doncic, to play for a coach in Rick Carlisle, an owner in Mark Cuban that has the resources, going to do whatever it takes to build something special around him. But I have to ask you a question, even though I know you don't like follow-ups, that you said that many Knicks fans probably disagree with today, as the same fan base that booed Porzingis and booed Daniel Jones. You said you felt like this would go down to be one of the best moves in the history of the Knicks.
I feel that way. Because you now have a young core. You've got R.J. Barrett, you've got Zoe Trier, and then you're going to get rid of Frankie Smokes, and then you're going to end up getting rid of Kevin Knox. But the draft picks that they got in that trade and the young pieces they got in Dennis Smith Jr. will end up benefiting the Knicks more than having a Kristaps Porzingis-based team. I believe in that, but that's because I am a blind and dumb, die-easy Knicks fan. We talk about following the crowd, right? You talk about how we look at things objectively, and the crowd really picked the Nuggets. The crowd anointed the Nuggets as one of the top teams in the West. The Nuggets are 5-2, and they play the Sixers tonight, which will be a good test for them. Jalen, why don't I respect the Nuggets as a basketball team?
Because you wanted to see Jokic come out of the gates.
Thank you.
And look like he was in shape.
Thank you.
Which I have not seen. Look like he was focused.
Thank you.
I'm seeing unforced turnovers. And look for him to be dominant, which he has not been.
Look at him.
However, this is why I like to gauge success off of realistic expectations. Because most 5-2s, people around the league will be celebrating. But since those things with Jokic haven't happened, it seems like they've been a disappointment. You get a big-time win against Philly, now people start to look at your record different. That's just how the league works.
So, you know I coined the phrase stretch mark 5, and there is no one that embodies that, pun intended, more than Jokic. My man is a stretch mark 5, and when you're playing the way he played last year, you can carry around that extra weight, but now you just look like a fat dude that's not that good at basketball. Like, I always say this is, I pay attention to the NBA. If you watch the Jokic, it's either feast or famine with him. Like, he averages 15 points, but sometimes it's 10, and sometimes it's 35. Like, you need to be consistent. And I don't know why I don't respect this Nuggets team, but I don't think that I will regret not respecting this Nuggets team. That's all I have to say about that.
I have to give you credit. When you go into the trademark office, don't just do stretch mark 5, because that morphed from stretch mark 4. So make sure you get both of them.
I got all of them. I got the trademark. It's like Taco Tuesday with LeBron. Moving on. We all thought that Mike Conley would be a huge difference maker for the Jazz, but so far this season it hasn't really played out that way. If you look at his stats, he's really dropped off in basically every category. What do you think about Mike Conley's start to the season?
So he's the type of player that those numbers will improve because his role has dramatically changed. In Memphis, he was a primary ball handler with pick and roll actions with like Marc Gasol, who likes to play high post and at the three-point line. So now all of a sudden the paint was a lot more open for his runners and his trademark floater that we talked to him about. Though a lefty, he likes to shoot it with his right hand. Now he plays with the Stifle Tower, Rudy Gobert. And where's he best served on the basketball floor offensively, Jacoby?
Just floaters, 5 feet from the basket, you know, getting past his man and catching up the help defense and just dropping it right over him.
Correct. And so now with Gobert in the paint, he doesn't necessarily have that room. So he's going to find a way to be more effective because he's a solid veteran player, and I have confidence in his game. But let me tell you what he has done that won't show up in the box score. Brought some veteran leadership and stability and athleticism to the point guard spot.
Yep.
So now all of a sudden, Bogdanovich, who was an under-the-radar pickup for the Utah Jazz, and Donovan Mitchell can initiate offense off pick and rolls, through throwback passes for three-point shots, and do driving kicks. Also, I still like this Jazz team. They're continuing to mature as a unit.
What's up? Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. Don't forget to download the ESPN app, and if you want more premium content, which you do, make sure that you subscribe to ESPN+. See you soon.